This is a core endurance session for beginners. We're going to start on all fours. We're going to have the hands just a bit in front of the shoulders and obviously knees under the hips. And we just want to relax everything for a second, just sink into the shoulders, sink into the lower back so that we can really feel the difference then. So imagine someone's grabbed you by the back of the t-shirt around about bra strap height and just pulled you away from the floor. And that's where we want to be. So we're nice and strong through the shoulders, nice and switched on. And then just tip and dip your belly. So belly to the floor and then belly to the ceiling. And then just find somewhere roughly between the two. And that's where we're going to hold. So from there, we're just going to do opposite arm and leg sliding away. So opposite arm and leg are going to slide away as far as we can go. So you're really reaching the fingers and toes, and then we're going to lift up and pause, holding your balance, and then come back down and in. Same on the other side, lengthen, and then lift and pause, and then down and in. Good, just doing that side to side. And what I want you to think about is just imagining a tray of drinks balanced on your back, and you're trying not to spill them. So when you shift, well, try not to shift is what I'm saying. When you take the arm and the leg away, you're trying not to shift all your weight onto the other side. So you want to try and stay as even as possible on all 4 points of the body, even though you've taken the arm and leg away. So you're trying not to spill that tray of drinks on your back by keeping as still as possible through your centre. Remember, extend away as if the fingertips and toes are reaching towards the walls either side of you. Pausing and then coming in. Lengthen and then lift. Nice. Lengthen and then lift. Good, we're going to do a couple more like this. Making sure you've got that balance and stillness. And then we're going to change it up on the next one. So we're going to lengthen away first, pause, but then we're going to bring the elbow and knee in towards each other. So we're going to round the back. So it throws our balance slightly. So we're going to have to use all those muscles to help balance us. And then we're going to lengthen back out so we get into that nice still position. And then we come back in. So we go out, reach away as we lift, and then in, round the spine. Try and get the elbow and knee to touch each other, and then lengthen back out. And then come back underneath. Extend away, elbow and knee in, round the spine, and then lengthen back out, find that balance, and then back in. Lengthen, lift, curl under, reach away, find that balance and stillness with the toes and fingertips reaching away, and then back in. We're going to do a couple more to each side. Remember, when you're extending the arm and leg, you're really reaching them. Find that balance and then down. Lengthen. In you come. Lengthen back out, find that balance. And then down. One more time to each side. Round. Lengthen. And then in. One more time to this side. Lengthen out and then come back. Tuck the toes under and just come down onto your forearms. Same thing as before. Relax into the shoulders and then imagine someone's pulled you behind the shoulders, up away from the floor, so we're nice and strong. Same thing with the bottom, tuck and tip. So you tuck under, tip up. Find somewhere in between. We're going to lock in there, and it's like someone's put a band around your tummy now, or your lower abdominals. All we're going to do is try and lift up from there. So we're going to try and pull up from those lower abdominals so the knees end up hovering slightly off the mat, and then come back down. So imagine pulling up as if you've got a sling around you, and then back down. So we lift, and then lower. So you don't want to come up too high. It's just a little hover of the knees and then back down, but pulling from below in those lower abs. Now you can stay with this or you can add a little bit more challenge. So you come up and then keeping the knees hovering, you just send the weight forward a little bit, come back and then down. So you hover the knees, the weight goes forward, goes back, and then down. So we're adding a little bit more shoulder work. A little bit more shoulder requires a little bit more core work. So we're just increasing everything slightly. If it's too much, just stay as you are, practicing hovering and coming back down. But if you can, forward, back, and then tap the knees. Lift, forward, back, tap the knees. Good, a couple more. Nice, these also really help build the strength around the shoulders as we start to build our plank position. So really help build the shoulder work we need to support a good plank. Good, last one. Down and then untuck the toes, just come back for a second. Have a little stretch. Nice big breaths always. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And then let's come up. Sweep the legs around in front of us. Couldn't think what they were called. Can you sweep the legs around? You want a bit of space behind you for this. We're going to sit up nice and tall. Arms in front, and we're just going to do a little roll back. So we stay open as possible across the front, across the, I can't think what it was called, shoulders. So open as possible across the shoulders. And it's like someone's pushing on your belly button, and they're going to try and push you back. So you roll the lower back towards the floor, and then you stay in that lovely curve, come up and grow tall. So someone pushes you on the belly button, you try and lead with your belly button going behind you. Stay like that, as if as you come forward, someone's still got their finger on your belly button, and at the last moment sit tall. And by thinking about that, we're really going to engage those muscles across the tummy and into the core. Roll back, sit tall. So lead from the belly button. Stay in that curve, grow tall. Good, a couple more, and then we're going to make it slightly harder, but add in a little bit of oblique work as well, so down the sides of the body. So when you're ready, what we're going to do is we're going to curl back. As we do, we're going to twist to one side and lift the leg. Then we come back up and go the other way. Twist and back up. Twist, lift tall. Lift tall. If it's too much lifting the leg, you can do it without. But if you can, lift and then come up. Good. Nice work. Remember, nice big breaths. Exhaling as you go back really helps to get your core and abdominal muscles engaged. So exhaling, inhaling really helps. If it's not working for you and you end up spending more time worrying about the breath, don't worry about it, as long as you're breathing. But I find that exhaling on the way back really helps with the whole movement. But like I say, don't worry about it if it's not working for you. Good, nearly there. So we're trying to go for time-based on these exercises, because we want endurance. So if we bash out reps really quickly, that's not going to help the endurance so much. Good, and then come back up. Hands behind the legs so we can ease ourselves down to the mat, so make sure you've got some space behind. Curl down. And just take a little full body stretch for a second. Lengthen everything back out again. And then arms sweep round to your side. Bend the knees so that your feet are flat on the floor. Just relax your arms beside you. We want the rib cage down on the mat. And same things we did in other positions. We just want to flatten the back into the floor, arch it towards the ceiling. Do that a couple of times. And then just settle somewhere in the middle. From there, we're just trying to hold it. So we want to brace through that center, making sure we can still breathe the whole time, but trying to hold that stillness. So if we're talking about that tray of drinks we had earlier, we're trying to balance that tray of drinks now on our tummy and not wobble through our center. So imagine a tray of champagne flutes, very full champagne flutes. You really want to stay still so that they don't start to jiggle around. And then from there, we're just going to bring one leg up, keeping still through the center, and then we're just going to circle the leg. So just take it away from you. It's like you've got a pencil on your kneecap and you're trying to draw a circle on the ceiling. So you circle the leg round. And you can go as big as you like, as long as you don't spill your tray of drinks. So if you're starting to spill your drinks, just make the circle slightly smaller. And then, if you can, start to make it a little bit bigger again without any movement. Good. Let's go round the other way with those circles. So pull in all those muscles across the centre to try and keep your tray of drinks as still as possible. I'm fixated on the tray of drinks. Good. So this is a nice one for a bit of hip mobility, as well as that strength through our torso, through our centre. Good. Last one. And then down. Let's do the same on the other side. Bring the leg up. Balance that tray of drinks. Stay as still as you can as you start to circle the leg. If the other leg is moving around, then it's because your body's moving around. So the other leg should be really still while this one's circling. Otherwise, it's a sign that everything's moving around. So just try and brace a bit stronger, work a bit harder. Stay still through your centre. Nice big breaths. They don't need to be fast circles. In fact, a little bit slower is a little bit more challenging because obviously the leg is away from the body a bit longer and therefore it's a bit harder to hold through your centre. So try and slow it down if you want to challenge yourself. Let's go back the other way with those circles. So if you are thinking about breath, I find it's easiest to breathe out as the leg goes away, because again, as the leg travels away from the body, that's the hardest time to control that movement. So I want to engage a bit more. So as I exhale, everything pulls down. It's a bit easier on that out breath. But again, if the breathing just becomes this point of worry for you, don't worry about it, just breathe. Your body will find a way. Good. I think we went both directions, didn't we? Make sure you've done both directions. I'm pretty sure we changed directions. We've done enough circles anyway. Come down, hug the knees in. Let's hold on to one knee and extend one leg away. So just give the hips a little stretch before we do the next one. And then switch. Don't worry, if you can hear that clunking, that's just my hips. Don't worry about it. As long as there's no pain attached to it, it's absolutely fine. It's just where the tendons are rubbing over the joints. It's not going to do you any damage. It's literally just a clunking as it rubs over the joint. Like I say, it's not doing any damage. Unless there's pain, don't worry about it. Come back in, feet flat again. Arms are going to go wide, so out to your sides. And then we're going to do hip rolls. So we're just going to take a little bit of weight out of the feet so that they're very light on the floor. So either toes touching, or if you tend to then put your weight into them and get cramp, then just hover them off the mat so the legs are kind of hanging. And then going down one way, only halfway to the floor, because then we want to pull the legs back through our centre. So we go down the other way. And then use your centre to pull the legs back up again. So it should feel like you're drawing down through the centre of the body to pull everything back. So again, that centre's acting like a brace or an anchor, I suppose. Again, if you want to use the breath, I do an out breath to go down, then I inhale, and then I use that out breath for the effort to come back. Inhale there. And then exhale back. Exhale down, inhale to pause, and then exhale to draw back. If you can, start to extend that trailing legs. It's even heavier to pull back. So you come down. I'm going to kick the flowers on. No, just about get away with it. Come back. So we go down, extend the leg, slowly back. And then bend the leg in again. Down, extend, slowly back. So this whole time we want our shoulders fixed to the floor. If you start lifting that trailing arm, then we're not bracing enough through the center. So you need to just be a little bit more careful. Keep the shoulders down so that we keep the work where we want it. You won't do any damage if it lifts, it just won't work as well through your obliques. Good, last few. One more to each side. And then just hug the knees in, rock gently side to side. Good, feet down. Again, just setting up so that the rib cage is on the mat. This is the last one, don't worry. Rib cage on the mat, flattening and arching through that lower back till we find that midpoint. So the two extremes, arching the back, flattening it to the floor, somewhere in between. Hold there. And we're just going to bring one leg up to tabletop and then bring it down. Same on the other side. So super simple. But again, we're looking for that stillness through the body. So as the leg comes up, we don't want to flatten the back into the floor. As the leg goes down, we don't want to arch the back up. So if you imagine that I put a Pringle underneath your lower back, you don't want to lose the Pringle because it's worth a lot of money. Pretend it's the last one. So as it comes up with that leg, don't flatten it and squash it. But as the leg goes down, if you come up too far away from the floor, I'm going to reach my hand in and grab it, which you don't want either. So you want to find that midpoint and just hold it. And when you're happy that that's all going well, we're going to start to switch. So we have one leg up, and then as we start to lower it, we're lifting the other one. And then we switch and switch. Okay. Try to tap the foot a little bit away from the body so you end up not doing this. Okay, you want a little bit of a hinge, the knee traveling away from the hip. If you want to make it harder, just tap your foot further away. Switch, switch, switch. Remember, don't crush your Pringle, don't lose your Pringle. I'm really sorry if you don't like Pringles. You don't have to eat it, just imagine it's precious to you. Look after it, don't crush it, don't let me grab it. Good. Remember breathing the whole time. Obviously, but you know what I mean. Nice full wide breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Good, a few more if you can. And then down. Finish with a full body stretch. And you are done.